morning long, she never said a word, not one word. And I spoke to her and said, you know, you don't speak up. She goes, you don't understand Korean society. I've been married, by the way, to a Korean for 40 years. You don't understand Korean society. We're trained that the women are not supposed to speak up. We're supposed to be humble. We're supposed to be demure. You see, I think she was making a big mistake between what you do in a social setting, perhaps, and what you do in a work setting. Because over lunch, I started talking to her male colleagues, and what I got from them was resentment. They said, she's getting paid as much as us, and she contributes nothing. She adds nothing to the conversation. She says nothing in the meetings. Because they are not seeing her at that point as a demure woman. They're seen as a member of the team who is not contributing. I have never given a talk. I'm going to prevent you guys from doing it by just saying it for you right now. I have never given a talk to a woman on any continent, and believe me, this includes senior women in the United States, where someone doesn't eventually raise her hand and say, why can't my work just speak for itself? Maybe you're thinking that right now. Why do I have to ask? Why do I have to ask for a promotion? Why do I have to ask for a raise? Why can't my work speak for itself? Because, ladies, work doesn't speak. People speak. And if you don't express that you're interested in going somewhere else, why would your boss be wrong in thinking you're perfectly happy where you are? You've got to let people know what you want so that they can help you to get there. The sixth is the saddest, and that is that we women feel that we are worth less. We're not unjustified in feeling that way. You read too many stories about my parents had 4 children because the first 3 were girls, right? Or you're constantly, you hear everyone talking about he, my doctor, oh, it's a woman, like it's a big shock. When I was a very little kid, I was watching cartoons, and I said to my grandma, why is it that all the cartoon characters are guys? Like Porky Pig, Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse. Are girls not interesting? We're getting the silent message throughout all of our young years that we're not desired, that we're not interesting. We hear the statistics about the sex ratio in China right now, where they have 1-child families, and so the sex ratio is so out of whack because they'll abort females. How is that obviously going to make you feel after a time? You will feel that you are worthless, whether you want to or not. It permeates. So one of the main reasons we don't seek a seat at the table is that we feel we don't deserve one. We feel we're not good enough. A 2011 UK Management Institute survey of its members' self-confidence found that less than half of the women, regardless of their position, felt confident in their performance, whereas more than 2/3 of the men felt confidence in their performance, and it was totally unrelated to how well they performed. Even worse, asked what they deserved to earn in 5 years after graduation, female students at the Manchester Business School said they deserved to earn a number that was 25% below what men felt they deserved to earn. The result? We don't believe in ourselves. We feel like we're imposters. Have you heard of the imposter syndrome? It means that when you get something, you think they're going to find me out. I'm not really that good. This is scary. When I got into Harvard, I'm not kidding you. I went to the mailbox every morning for a week, terrified that I was going to find the letter that said, oh, it was a mistake. We meant to get the next person on the list and actually named you. I was telling them earlier this morning, where does that come from? When I graduated from my university, they gave 2 people award for top graduate of the year, and I was one of them. And I was talking to some neighbors, and I said, They said, you won an award. I said, yeah, top graduate of the year. And my grandmother interjected and said, well, the top woman. So not really the top graduate, right? Just the best among the weak. So the result is, we don't ask because we'll be found out. We'll be told no. We don't speak up in meetings because maybe something we'll say is stupid. We don't stand out because right now no one is noticing that we're there even though we don't deserve to be. Because we don't show confidence in ourselves, we don't give confidence to other people. That boss is saying, I want to give the position to someone who's really going to represent the company and show their confidence with clients. But this person isn't showing confidence. That's why so many companies have asked me to counsel senior women who do the work really well, but they're not displaying that presence that makes the boss feel, I can safely put that woman in front of a client and she will represent us well. We need to show confidence, not because we're so great, because we represent. We represent our companies, we represent our families, we represent our organizations, and we have to show that we are rightfully there. And now the seventh reason, which is real, but I've got a workaround, and that is there is employer bias. It's been shown. I talked earlier about that survey by Hired, the website that is the job search website. In 2015, they did a survey of jobs that found that 69% of the time men got initial higher offers than women. It wasn't a huge amount. It was, whoops, forgot to move to that. It was 3% less. Also, as I pointed out, the gap widens as years of experience increase. The good news, however, was that they found that whenever women negotiated, they got an equal salary to the men. So it was an initial first offer, but if women dared to speak out, they would get not only equal salaries, but in their case, they said very often higher salaries than men who had the same level of capability. So I've raised all the red flags. Now the question becomes, what do we do? And I would say that the answer is that we've got to learn to speak out while reaching out. I have a couple ladies here who serve as very good examples. Down on your lower left, you'll see Chu Get Kim. She is the chair of Singapore's Overseas Chinese Banking Corps. In 2014, she was named as Forbes' most powerful Asian businesswoman. Now look at her in that picture. Does she look like the most powerful Asian businesswoman? No, because she's speaking to a young student and trying to encourage that student. So what she's doing is style switching. She's moving to a much more maternal or grandmotherly style in which she will be able to connect better with that young person that she is talking to. Believe me, she doesn't look like that when she talks to her board of directors. But she knows how to change her style depending on the situation. Up in your upper right, we have Mazlan Binti Othman, Malaysia's first astrophysicist and the founding director of the Malaysian National Space Agency, who has won numerous international awards for her work attracting young women into science education. She is a very serious scientist, but as you see, she knows how to style switch and reach out to others. Here's an example of three very successful American businesswomen. On the top, we have Anne Mulcahy, the former chair and CEO of Xerox, who was Chief Executive Magazine's 2008 CEO of the Year. Below her, Indra Nooyi, the chair and CEO of PepsiCo, who for more years than I can even think of has been the most powerful woman in business in the world. Andrea Jung, president and CEO of Grameen Bank, was the winner of the 2010 Clinton Global Citizen Award after raising nearly $1 billion to support women's health and empowerment. Now beneath each one of those women, I know you all can't see it, but I list some qualities that are qualities that they use to describe themselves, or that their closest associates use to describe them. So under Anne Mulcahy, we have compassion, straightforwardness, honesty, excellent listening, focus, decisiveness, creativity. Under Indra Nooyi, competence, courage, confidence, relationship building, communication skills, moral compass, big heart. Andrea Jung, innovation, professionalism, ambition, family values, deep concern for women. Do you notice anything about those qualities that make them kind of interesting? By the way, I have incredible patience, so I'll just wait here until someone notices something.
Mostly feminine qualities.
Mostly? There are many stereotypical feminine qualities, but are there also stereotypically masculine qualities? Such as what? Decisiveness. Straightforwardness. Courage. Okay?
But not excellentness.
What they do is that they don't think they have to become one thing purely or another. They combine all of it into a whole human being. They do what we call style switching. At appropriate times, I can be tough and speak in a deep voice like this. But when I meet with my son's teachers, of course, I would speak much more like this in a much more friendly manner because I already know he's in some kind of trouble, and I'm trying to make peace with the teacher as much as I can. A 2011 Stanford University study found that strong, assertive, and confident women who are able to switch to a more feminine style based on the social situation get more promotions than anyone in any other category. 1.5 times more promotion than stereotypically masculine men. 1.5 times more promotions than stereotypically feminine women. 2 times as many promotions as feminine men, and 3 times as many as simply assertive and masculine women. So I will conclude with these words to you. Do not fear asking, because that's why we were given voices. Do not fear challenging, because that's why we were given minds. And do not fear to smile, because that's why we were given hearts. Thank you very much.